because he'll be able to dismiss those if they're still on appeal or still active once the election is over, if he wins. But only if he wins. If he loses, he's going to jail.
Joining me now, Sadie Gurman, Justice Department reporter with the Wall Street Journal, and Kristy Greenberg, former federal prosecutor and former deputy chief of the criminal division at SDNY. I'm glad to have you both here. Sadie, you first. Does this square with your reporting? Do you get the sense that Jack Smith and DOJ prosecutors are concerned this is a race against time if they are to hold Trump accountable?
I think so. I mean, what we've seen is a surprising amount of luck and success by Trump and his legal team in delaying almost all of his cases. We have a judge in Florida who's overseeing the classified documents case who has yet to set a trial date. I mean, there's a May 20th trial date on the books right now, but she has strongly suggested that she will delay that. And then in the Washington, D.C. case, you have the Supreme Court taking up issues related to that. And so that's set that back at least for a few months. So I think Trump has been largely successful in delaying his cases. But of course, there is the likelihood that both of these cases go before the election, in which case he would be, that might be an albatross around his neck as the final weeks of the campaign close in.
Well, and there's this, Kristy, because Ty Cobb was unequivocal. I mean, do you see a scenario where Trump goes to jail if he loses in November?
Yes. If he loses and he is convicted in really either of the federal cases as well as the state cases, each of those are charges that carry jail time. So if he is convicted in any of those cases, yes, he could absolutely see prison time.
Sadie, can you gauge the sense of whether Jack Smith's team expected the delays to Trump's federal trials coming as a result of the Supreme Court scheduling the immunity appeal? Or is there a sense of frustration, more broadly speaking, especially since Smith asked the court to take that up in December?
Yeah, I think that there's more frustration than surprise on the part of Jack Smith's team and throughout DOJ, really. They knew and expected that Trump's approach to these cases would be to delay. But, they thought, I think, that, the Supreme Court would move a little faster to answer some of these very critical questions. And so they are, they're down to the wire and they are trying as hard as they can to move these proceedings ahead. But in both of the cases, they're up against obstacles that are largely out of their control, particularly in Florida, where we have a judge who seems to, be taking a very meticulous and very deliberate approach to these proceedings.
Well, you wrote about the legal maneuverings, if you will, from Judge Cannon's court. Is Trump pushing for an August trial date in the classified documents case because he thinks he might get more favorable treatment than in the D.C. election case? Sadie?
It